By the third day, the ranch felt different. The air was heavier, as if the land itself sensed the man's presence. Clara kept her Colt revolver closer than usual, not trusting a stranger with a past painted in whispers. He worked hard, harder than most men she'd hired, but there was no kindness in the way he moved, just purpose, sharp and efficient. She caught him scanning the horizon often, like he expected riders to come any moment. One evening, as the sun bled into the hills, she saw him near the corral, rolling up his sleeve. The tattoo caught the light, and she noticed fresh scars slicing through it. Someone had tried to cut it away. That mark, it means something, she said, stepping closer. His jaw tightened. It means I belong to men who own everything they touch. Land, cattle, lives. Clara's pulse quickened. And my father, was he one of those lives? He looked at her then, eyes dark as a brewing storm. Your father was a man they feared. That's why they burned him out. Her breath hitched. So you were with them. His answer came like gravel. I was their prisoner long before I became yours. In the silence that followed, a coyote's howl rose from the hills, a sound that felt too much like a warning. Clara realized she hadn't bought a monster. She'd bought a man running from one. That night, Clara heard the horses restless in the corral. She grabbed her lantern and stepped outside, the wind carrying the scent of rain. He was already there, leaning against the fence, eyes fixed on the dark ridge beyond. They've found me, he said without turning. Her grip tightened on the lantern's handle. Who? The ones that were this mark. He lifted his arm slightly, the serpent and skull twisting in the flicker of light. They don't let anyone walk away. Clara's mind raced. If they were coming for him, they'd take her land too, maybe her life. She had only one choice, stand with him or turn him in before they arrived. You could leave, she said quietly. He shook his head. They'd burn this place to the ground just to spite me. If I'm staying, I'm fighting. She searched his face for any sign of deceit and found only grim resolve. Then you'd better tell me everything, because I don't lose my home twice. His eyes met hers, a silent pact forming between them. The wind picked up, the storm crawling closer. Over the hills somewhere out there, riders were coming, and Clara knew the next sunrise would find her ranch either defended or in ashes. By dawn, the sky was iron gray, the air thick with the smell of wet earth. Clara stood on the porch with her rifle, watching him move around the ranch with deliberate precision, checking fence lines, securing the barn doors, scattering the cattle to higher ground. When he came back, his shirt was damp with sweat and mist. They'll come from the east, he said, pointing toward a narrow valley. It's the only route they'll risk in daylight. Clara swallowed her fear. How many? 4, maybe 5, all killers. But they won't expect you. She raised an eyebrow. A woman with a rifle? A faint smirk touched his lips. A woman who's not afraid to shoot. By mid-morning, the distant thud of hooves reached them. They crouched behind the fence line. Rain starting to fall in cold, slanted sheets. The riders emerged from the fog like ghosts, broad-brimmed hats low over their eyes, rifles slung across their backs, the same serpent tattoo curling up their arms. Clara's heart hammered. The leader reined in his horse, scanning the ranch. His gaze stopped where she crouched, and his smile was pure menace. The man beside her whispered, "When I give the word, we make our stand." Lightning split the sky, and Clara's finger tightened on the trigger. Whatever happened next, there was no turning back.